Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode with Joey on Just Cause 4, driving around, causing some trouble for AI cars. This vehicle apparently able to climb over other cars. I'm not quite sure that's how it's supposed to work, but it can regardless. However, sometimes that ability is a little too strong. We're just going to park it on top of a wreck. And now you come. Thankfully, Just Cause you can tether stuff out and everything, but still, good parking. Jeff up next on BeamNG Drive is messing around with a police chase. It's always good fun doing car chases in this game. However, when things go wrong, they often go wrong hilariously. This time, we're going over one of the crests, lands on the back of the vehicle they're trying to chase, and then gets stuck. Thing is, the car trying to get away decides to deposit the police vehicle at a bus stop and completely wrecks it. Nicely done. Very good getaway technique there. Ordained Mink up next on Hot Wheels Unleashed. Now, we've seen car hats. In fact, we kind of saw one in the previous clip. We've seen car hats on Hot Wheels before as well. You can kind of scoop vehicles up relatively easily. But what about a triple-decker car hat? Yes, we've got a bone shaker on top of the R2-D2. It's not actually called that. I don't know what it's called. It on top of something else as well. Deposited the poor bone shaker off of the circuit. Yeah, that's you don't see that one very often. Game Boy up next on Forza Horizon 4. Now, they're doing a race heading towards the finish line. It's side by side with the McLaren a little bit faster. There's some pushing. The ATS decides it didn't like the squeeze, puts the McLaren off the track. However, the ATS hits the end of the bridge. The McLaren falls off the bridge, but is close enough to get the checkpoint. So it still takes the win on that one. We move on to Street Legal Racing Redline next with just anythings and a rather highly modified, I think it's a Porsche of some description. I don't know. It's got a lot of power. It's doing some 200 miles an hour around this oval when things go a little bit wrong. It gets twitchy, or gets sort of slidey, gets a bit twitchy, trying to gather it back up. It goes wrong, it digs in, and everything disintegrates around it. Oh, there's not much left of that. That is a destroyed car. That is the end of that one. Viper fan up next on Dirt Rally 2, doing a spot of Rallycross. Runs a tiny bit wide, and some bollards have had enough of being hit, and decides the Audi should go for 3 or 4 rolls and lose a door. It does land back on its wheels and can carry on. But yeah, bollards. Bollards are all that took. It didn't hit a tyre bundle or a wall or anything like that. And it'll go over. Empty Plays up next on R Factor 2 with the anti-corner cutting curbs. This is at the Gold Coast, carrying a lot of speed. A bit too much speed through here. Can't get the vehicle turned. Don't straight line the chicane. Do not straight line the chicane. You will go for a massive, massive crash. Nice Groundhog up next on Assetto Corsa. Has been running up a kind of hill climb stage and is just a little bit too impatient going through, I guess, like a holding area. Carries too much speed, clips the wall. That sort of grabs the car and turns it. And in grabbing the car and turning it, well, it's wedged it. It's not exactly a wide area through here, but that's not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. Just a little bit more patience. A little bit more patience is needed. On to F1 2019 next with sudden random rolling. I mean, there was an illegal overtake. That is true. It was off the circuit. It wasn't really intentional off the circuit. I don't quite know how it manages to... like a combination of weird physics colliding with the side of a car and off of a curb and everything all together, and the game just had a panic attack and launched it over and driven through a few spinning cars. Everything went very wrong there. Tom is up next on Wreckfest, managing to have carbon copy crash with the vehicle ahead. They're both trying to bully some lawnmowers. They both lose. Identical cars, identically stuck against the wall. Yeah, it turns out bullying lawnmowers is rather dangerous in this one. Demonic Gaming is up next on iRacing. This, I think, at the start of a race, things have gone very badly wrong up ahead. Vehicles are flying through the air. There's a lot of cars wrecked through all of this. Not really what you want, I presume, at the start of a race. There's a bump between the Porsche and the BMW. They get connected, they bounce together. As the BMW comes back across the track, it just gets launched to orbit. And there we go, landing back down. I imagine whatever that red car, they would have crapped themselves. Just a random vehicle falls from the sky directly in front of them. Virax the Wolf is up next on Ride 4. He's leading the way in the wet conditions, never the easiest to deal with on a bike. Runs a little bit wide on the exit here, is over the curb, and is all sorts of tank slapper going on there, or high side or whatever it is on a bike. Bounces it off the wall, somehow gets away with it, you lucky bugger. Motorhorn is the final clip here on the long drive. Now, they are heading they're actually on the road. They're sort of following the road, but they're not on it at rather high speed, and things have gone predictably wrong with it. I don't know what it started the bounce, but things went wrong. The best bit of all, though, is that the car is caught by a tree. I didn't actually know you could do this. I didn't know that the tree's hitbox would allow a car to get stuck on it, but that is all the way stuck on top of a tree. I mean, surprisingly little damage done, all things considered, but, I mean, that's not what you need. I mean, okay, well, the bumper coming off, that wasn't the thing they were going to try to do. So they were trying to push the car, and it's not going to work. It's a little bit wedged in all of that. They do, luckily, figure out... I say luckily figure out. Maybe other people knew this. I've never come across this. But the doors, you can open and close the doors, and while physics gets a bit janky, it can at least move the vehicle as it comes off the tree. If the door trick didn't work, that would have been a hilariously dumb way for things to have failed. But I mean, I didn't know this, and now I know a trick if my car ever gets stuck in the long drive. But you can slam the door open and close, and it might work. And then a combination of that and pushing can probably do the trick. And there we go. The car is out of the tree. I approve of the colour scheme as well, by the way. Get back in the car before it rolls down a hill, and you'll have a really long run. That was almost a hilariously second dumb way to go. Good work getting back into the vehicle. But yeah, trees can catch cars, and opening and closing the door really quickly can maybe unstick them in an emergency. Learning something new, as well as funny stuff in this episode. But there we go. That is going to be it for this video. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via a Google form. There shall be a link to that in the description. All the rules and how it works can be found on there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.